Welcome to After the Movie Podcast, the show where we pick any movie that we want and talk about it like we're actually critics. But we're not. We're just a bunch of idiots blathering along. All right, well, we can introduce our crew then. So Mo's down there. You can't
How you
see him.
doing?
He's still working on his video drive on his camera. And then we have Quinn as well.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Oh, already breaking it out, which Val Kilmer was probably the best, but we'll get to that. Dane man.
Hello.
And Martin.
Hello.
Martin's drinking what is that?
A LaCroix.
LaCroix, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Got any flavor in that? Or
hardly, no. It's a
any
berry.
liquor?
No, not yet.
So anyway, today we're going to be reviewing the 1993, I think it's biographical. I can't really tell if it's true or not, but it's a Western, Tombstone. The actors in it were Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Sam Elliott, and I don't know if you guys realize that Billy Bob Thornton was in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Was he really fat?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was kind of fat, yeah. And he didn't have his gray hairs, so that was the thing that almost threw me off.
I didn't catch him. Where was he? Who was he?
He was the
dipshit card shark at the very beginning of the movie.
I thought that was fat Billy Bob Thornton.
The one that,
Yeah.
Wyatt Earp ended up beating the shit out of and embarrassing.
Yeah, that he.
Was awesome.
Okay, that he said that line. The
homoerotic line.
Yeah, the
I've got it written down if we want the exact quote.
Yes.
I think it's you gonna skin that smoke wagon.
Oh, yeah, that's part of it.
He said,
Oh, yeah.
and I quote, "Skin it, skin that smoke wagon, jerk that pistol, and go to work. Throw down, boy."
Man. What a great line.
Yeah.
I think the best line that he had out of a movie that had plenty of great one-liners, I think Kurt Russell's line immediately following that after he slapped the fuck out of Billy Bob Thornton's character was, "Are you going to do something or just stand there and bleed?"
Mm-hmm.
Total badass.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see if you guys wanted to get the stars and watch and do not watch out of the way before we just continue on. That way, if anybody actually tuned in for longer than 6 minutes, they could actually see what we thought real quick. So, Mo, go ahead.
I would give this one, I think, a strong watch recommendation. I struggle with the stars just because I love this movie. I loved this movie before we watched it as a group. And I know it's not worth 4 stars, but I kind of feel like giving it 4 stars. But I'd say, honestly, I'd give it a 3.
You loved
That's
it?
fair.
You
So
loved this
3.
movie? Is that what you said?
I love this movie.
So 3 and a watch, right?
Oh, yeah, 3 and a watch.
All right. Quinn?
I don't know. It's close. You watch it, I guess.
I guess.
Or don't.
Or don't bother me
whatever you
with
feel
it.
like.
Did you not know this question was coming, Quinn?
No, I mean it's just not. It wasn't great. It wasn't, spectacular. I don't know. I'd give it I think the big winner here was mustaches. I think we can all agree that the big winner
Yes.
of this whole
wow.
thing was mustaches.
Mhm.
I mean, Sam Elliott just brought it home,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'd give it a strong 2 stars, 5 mustaches.
Mustache.
Dane?
Very much a strong watch recommendation. I've been meaning to watch this movie ever since since I was a teenager, when my youth pastor freaked out about the fact that I had never seen it before. He gave me his DVD copy of it, and this was probably 2005, 2006. That DVD copy is still sitting on my shelf back at my parents' house, and I just haven't watched it. But yeah, this movie's a great movie.
Smoke wagon.
Yeah, it's something close to that. Yeah. Strong watch. I would give it a 4 out of 5.
See, Dane, I'm right there with you. I have a hard time with it because I enjoyed this one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Martin?
Very, very enjoyable movie.
It was enjoyable. I would definitely say watch it, and I would give this 3-star movie a 4-star rating.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Yeah. All right.
Now let's hear from the
All
man of the
right.
hour, Beggs. What do you think?
Well, I would definitely say watch this movie. I really came into it. I probably would have never watched this movie if we didn't do the podcast, just because I'm pretty reluctant to watching westerns. But then I realized that some of the actors that are in it, like specifically Val Kilmer, I thought was fantastic in this movie. But I kind of love Val Kilmer anyway.
So
But
do I. He's
Yeah,
got
I
a
would
really
give it-
random appeal. He's fantastic.
I like he really buys into most of the roles that I've seen him in movies, and I would give it a 3 just because there was one point right in the middle that I may have fell asleep for 15 seconds, but then I was back. It was good. It might have been the wine I was drinking, or I don't know, but it happened.
I was just gonna ask, did Sarah happen to watch this one with you?
Yes, she refused to watch Eddie Coyle, but she she has
I
been
think she
right
made the right
along
choice on that one.
Yeah,
With,
yeah, we can all agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, not missing much.
And how did she react to all the mustaches in this movie?
Well, I mean, she obviously. I mean, I'm not Sam Elliott, but
Hey, you're no Sam Elliott, buddy.
we're all real big fans of mustaches in this house. So
How about you,
Nice.
Martin? How'd your lady take it?
She
Or did Lene not watch it?
She did not watch this one.
Oh.
Ah,
we
but
could've
did she
got
watch
riled
Eddie
up.
Coyle?
She did watch Eddie Coyle.
Oh, jeez.
Fortunately.
We didn't get into this. Like, what did she think about Eddie Coyle?
She was in agreement. Terrible movie, and
Uh-huh,
regretted her time wasted.
Perfect. Perfect.
Martin, how many times did Lene claw you like a kitty cat while you were watching Eddie Coyle because she was bored?
There wasn't too much cat. I think she was scrubbing the bathtub at the time, which is something a cat would never do.
But she was scrubbing the
No.
bathtub at the time. What are you
Yeah.
talking? What the hell are you talking about there, Martin?
With
How was she scrubbing the bathtub while you were watching it?
I thought we were talking about Tombstone.
Oh,
Oh,
No,
no.
I was
Wait,
talking about Eddie
Eddie Coyle.
Oh no, she didn't get bored and act like a kitty too much. A couple of times.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
All right.
Well, that kind of brings me to like the point about Tombstone that I thought was completely useless, and sadly, like none of the female actors had a role or a point in
all.
this movie at all,
No.
but they kept bringing them back. Like,
It's so dumb. That's part of the reason I didn't like. Yeah, and then his wife, they like make it seem like, oh, it's okay that he's cheating on her. Like she's some drug addict.
Yeah,
She has
yeah.
it coming.
yeah,
The in narration made it like
Amazing
that
Wyatt
says
Earp.
she
He knows when
died
to
2
cheat
years
on his
later.
wife.
What
Yeah.
was that?
Right. It was like you're supposed to celebrate her death 2 years afterwards.
yeah.
Died.
It's over.
She's a
Nobody
terrible
cared.
person.
That awful lady who cared about Wyatt Earp is dead. Thank God.
Man.
Died of a drug overdose or whatever they
Common
said.
I think it was a drug overdose.
Yeah.
Martin, that
Yeah,
was a
she
good
was on
Robert
that.
Mitchum.
Yeah, that was Robert Mitchum, the narrator.
That was Eddie Coyle himself right there narrating the movie. I love that.
So fun fact: the lady who he marries was not an actress. She was a prostitute. And the Earps did own a brothel when they were in the West.
Wait, so
And-
they're actually real people. So it is
Yeah.
a biography.
Yeah, they're real people, but he didn't fall in love with an actress. He fell in love with a prostitute.
Okay.
The
Well, she
lady who
did
he
say
left
that
his
she
wife
was-
for.
She did say that she was, not the kind of girl or whatever. She hinted at she was very promiscuous
Yeah,
to him. So
Yeah.
she was so promiscuous that she was
I don't
willing
know
to
the
have sex for money.
promiscuity. I don't know that promiscuity and prostitution go hand in hand.
it's a loose connection.
I gotta say,
All prostitutes are promiscuous, but not all promiscuous women are prostitutes.
facts, straight facts.
That
That's
could be true.
I wanted to say that a lot of the actors in this movie, not just the main ones, not just Val Kilmer, not just Kurt Russell, a lot of them surprised me with how good they were with it. I want to specifically talk about Michael Biehn. I forgot he was. I forgot the character's name, but he was the one
He
that
was
ended up getting
Ringo.
into the. He was Ringo, Johnny
Oh.
Ringo. That's right.
Ringo was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Like,
Ringo was
he-
good.
He seemed very multifaceted. Like at times, I thought like he seemed kind of sympathetic, but at the same, like at other times throughout the movie, especially towards the end, he just seemed like such a heartless bastard. And I don't know, like the actor Michael Biehn really knocked it out of the park with that one. And which, by the way, I know Martin, you'd probably know what movie that man came from, or what movie franchise, shall we say, that he came from.
No, what?
He's from the Terminator films, the first two at least.
What?
Who
Yeah,
was he in the
he's-
first two?
He's
Who?
John
He was-
Connor's dad.
Yeah, he's Kyle something or other.
Oh yeah, I knew his face seemed. I knew I recognized him, but I
Kyle-
couldn't
God
place
damn it.
him.
Who? Michael
I'm gonna,
Biehn?
Michael Biehn. Yeah, I'm gonna kick myself for not remembering the dude who literally fathered John Connor in the first
Kyle
one.
Reese.
Kyle Reese. That's right. That was Kyle Reese.
Can we
Thanks
talk
for
about
all
too
over
how
the-
great the initial meeting of Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo was, and how fantastic that scene was?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
really good.
where he's just flipping his tin cup
Yeah.
the entire time. Loved
I have not yet begun to defile myself.
it.
No, I'm sure of it now. I hate this man.
He reminds me of me. That's what it is. Nope, I'm sure of it. I hate this man. That's great.
All right, so Val
So-
Kilmer is. I like every actor in this film, and Charlton Heston
Yeah.
having the random, like, small, tiny part.
That was.
Who was the person
to-
who was drugged by the horse? I didn't even know. It's like, oh, they killed
that
so
was,
and so.
Michael Rooker.
Okay, and who was he in
Freaking.
this?
He was
Masterson.
Masterson. Yeah.
He
I
was
think he was Arlu in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Okay.
Hmm.
And he played the dad in Mallrats too. He played the lead lady's dad.
Mm-hmm. And he was.
Oh, I got you.
And he was Henry from Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Uh-huh.
Did anyone else find themselves getting bored right after right when they went on the killing spree, essentially?
Yeah, that was so boring and so 90s. What a terrible 90s.
I think it was like an
cliche
ode to,
montage
like-
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was like an ode to, like, old westerns where it's like just them, like, shooting weapons, like, at the camera and stuff.
I
Yeah,
love.
It was
Like, make
lame.
it like.
I
Yeah, but a lot
love-
more graphic than the
I-
old Western.
I literally stopped the movie and I laughed for a good 5 minutes.
Hang on,
when,
Dave. Can I just take a guess at what this might be?
You can go ahead. I bet you're gonna get it.
No.
Yeah, right.
That's
Oh
it.
yeah.
No.
In my notes.
Oh,
The crazy thing about that is that I was reading up on that a little bit, and one of the guys on the other side, he died later from his wounds, but one of the cowboys, he's the reason why we know that story. It's apparently true.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's
It didn't
great.
come from the Earps either. It's not like a tall tale about, how great Wyatt Earp was from the side of the Earps. It came from the opposing side, which I thought was interesting.
And his ability to slow down time
And scream no.
and scream no.
Wyatt Earp and his magical mustache that slows down time.
Then hold up his hands.
Oh yeah, did you
Just
see how
walk
much more
around.
blood? Like, he barely has blood on his hands, and then he walks out in the rain, and his hands are coated in crazy amounts of blood.
And the girl just Josephine just
actress-
walks up. Don't
Like,
can't you
"Get away
see
from
what
me."
I'm doing?
Get away.
Go!
Perfect.
You
Just-
tell him I'm coming,
That's
and
when
I'm bringing hell with me.
that's when it got lame. That's when I totally lost interest in the movie.
See, and
Well,
that's why
my
I
problem.
struggled
That's why I
between
got
the 3
two
and 4
story.
star. That's what gave me a hard time between the 3 and 4 star.
That's
because
why I
it's
got a
lot of
2-star
corny
for me.
parts.
Yeah.
The corniness really sold it for me. Like, this movie couldn't have if it tried to play itself 100% serious the entire time, I don't think it would have been as good as it was. I really think the corniness kind of helped them.
I have no idea how you can rate this movie so high, Dane, and then have contempt for True Grit, which is an actually good Western movie.
No, True Grit's a god awful movie, especially for the Coen brothers. That movie sucks ass.
Well, we'll
That
watch
one
it
might be
later.
one that we review at some point, so I don't think we should talk
Yeah,
about that.
I'll
one too
save it.
much.
I'll save it. But Dane's dead wrong.
I know my next pick.
Yeah, so Kurt Russell, I don't know. I think I've seen him in probably like 4 movies, but he always plays the same kind of role as far as he never has any sort of accent, and he always has the same sort of like pretty lame delivery. So I like him, but I really don't think he's a good actor.
He's like he just has one mode, and that's deadpan dad from the 90s that has no emotion. And
I was gonna say
believable.
not 90s,
not.
dad from the 90s. But that's the same thing that I have with Leo DiCaprio. Is like he does the same thing, which doesn't necessarily make him bad.
Leo DiCaprio does the same thing. Clint Eastwood does the same thing. Jack Nicholson does the same thing. Will Smith does the same thing. A lot of really highly regarded actors.
Yeah,
a lot of really highly regarded actors really just play themselves a lot of the times. And I don't know, maybe it's just a thing. It's just the combination of everything coming together to make some movies better or some performances by those actors better than others.
Well, I think that it makes it easier to give true to life, at least somewhat true to life renditions if you're just playing yourself all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm not trying to pretend to be something else. Even though that is what acting is, but if you were to say for example, do you really think that did any of you see The King's Speech?
Yeah.
Do you really think that the King of England actually sounded and talked just like Colin Firth did, or do you think that Colin Firth just did himself trying to do
So I understand your
neutral
point,
kind
Dave,
of.
but when you listen to King George V, he sounds just like Colin Firth King George VI.
I can't comment because I've never actually listened to any old recordings of.
Well, do yourself a favor and listen to an hour straight of King George VI tonight.
Ugh.
If you're looking for something fun to do,
Look
up King George VI 1936 speech at the Britain Games. You will not be upset. That's a night well spent.
The Empire Games, Quinn.
Oh, Empire Games. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so there's obviously like that. There's some actors that, they're kind of just born to play a role, and that kind of just fits them in certain movies. But then there's other roles that, people don't have as big of a name as like Kurt Russell or Leo DiCaprio, where they have to adapt to the character that they're supposed to be playing in the movie. So it's two different. Like if you're already born to play this role, you already have an advantage because you don't have to do much, pretending or, training on your own time.
Like Sam Elliott, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sam Elliott was born to be a cowboy with a mustache.
Every time.
Well, and Val Kilmer as the Southern gentleman, I thought was really believable. I all joking aside, I think that Val Kilmer was fantastic, and I think that he was really good as the Southern gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But he also had the most probably annoying time on this because Sarah brought it up when we were watching it. She's like, "How do you think there's somebody on the set just constantly is spraying him in the face to make sure he's always sweaty look?"
Yeah. I did one. 100%. I was an extra on a Chicago series where they had to make us sweaty, and every take we did 50 takes, and every take they just came around and they just sprayed you, and they sprayed your face and they sprayed your whole body just to make sure that you stayed wet and wet looking.
Wow.
Dirty scoundrel.
Yeah, it was just we were making jokes. It was like you were a bad dog. Some lady just walks up to you after you're done with the take. The director says cut, and then they walk up to you. They spray you in the face with a bottle, and then they run off.
Man.
So also interesting about Val Kilmer though is, sorry, let me just throw this one in.
Yeah.
I was looking at him because I'm obsessed with him, like probably more so than Nicolas Cage. But
Banks, I'm with you on this one. I got kind of a guy crush on Val Kilmer too.
well, he's also great in I don't know if you like it or not, but The Doors, where he plays Jim Morrison. He was kind
I
of
haven't
born
seen
to
that
play
one.
that role
I've never
too.
seen that one either.
I haven't seen it either.
It's terrible.
Well, Martin hated it. We watched that at the old Freak Out original F10. So
Mhm.
Martin and I used to be, for anybody watching, Martin and I used to be roommates for like 3.5 years or something in college. So
Yeah, I think it kind of qualifies as common law wife.
that's right. We filed taxes jointly through a partnership as well. But go ahead, Dane.
Just in general, I remember last week you mentioned one of the big reasons why you chose Tombstone, besides the fact that Robert Mitchum was a part of it, and he was a part of Eddie Coyle, obviously. It was that the Rev had told you a whole bunch that you needed to watch it. Have you spoken with him since you watched him? Did you just like, yeah, you were right, this movie's really good, or no, you were dead wrong, like this movie sucked, or?
No, I have not talked to him yet about it, but all I remember him saying is we used to have the DVD in the house, and he would
For everybody who's listening and is unaware, when we talk about the Rev, we're speaking of Beggs or Paul's father.
Oh, the Rev, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Rev.
Sorry.
Yeah. So sorry, just need to interject that.
Yeah,
So he would-
I was thinking the same thing, Dane. I was wondering if anybody even knew what the hell we were talking about.
Well, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, if anybody's
so you
listening,
were saying.
you could just ask your dad what to think about this movie. Everybody's dad, if you're a millennial, everybody's dad watched this movie at least 10 dozen times. And
Yes.
we'll watch it. If
False.
it's on USA or TBS or something, it will be on your television. You have heard some soundbite of this movie just being blasted in your house while your dad watches it.
Fake news. My dad hates movies. Like, I never saw this movie growing up in my house. Does that sound out of character for my dad?
No, that does not. That's right in line with what he. I don't know. I don't want to say his name or anything.
Oh.
That is
Mushroom monologue. He just wants to sit.
Yeah, mushroom monologue.
Descale some fish or something like.
So Dane's dad has told all of us on separate occasions several times that he just wants to be like a mushroom on a log. He just wants to stay planted in the shade somewhere.
What a great guy.
Well, he's finally got his wish now in 2020.
Unfortunately, about Val Kilmer, though, I guess he's recovering from throat cancer.
No, he's got
Something like that.
consumption. It's tuberculosis.
No, he's talking about in real life, Quinn.
Yeah, real life.
Oh.
Unfortunately for Val Kilmer's character, yeah. Get a little choked up.
I know.
He had the TB.
Oh man.
It hurts me to think about Doc Holliday out there with the kids.
I just want to take a moment. Can we take a moment and just, really think about how hard Val Kilmer had it in that movie?
Oh my God.
And how sad it was that Kurt Russell had to leave his best friend before he died, but he left him a letter.
So, more fun about Val Kilmer, that coin walking trick that he does. That's true to life. Beggs, I'm so happy you and I are so in love with Val Kilmer. And we can just talk about this whole episode.
I got something special for you with Val Kilmer, Mo, if you really love him.
Yeah, hit me with it, brother.
All right. So Val Kilmer is actually coming out the 21st of this month with a book. It's a memoir, and it's titled "I'm Your Huckleberry."
Oh boy!
No
because
way.
we haven't really touched on it yet, but one of the best lines of Val Kilmer in this movie, "I'm your Huckleberry."
Mm-hmm.
And if you really love him, if you go and pre-order his book, he's gonna send you an autographed book plate. So just throwing that out there.
So yours is in the mail bags?
I would try to, but they won't take my weird, obscure mailing address, so I can't even get it out here. But it's like $22 for the book.
We'll send it to my
Get-
house.
Get somebody from back here in the States to send it to their house, and then we'll just UPS it over to you.
All right. I'll have to get your boys' address, unless
This
you want to
is-
broadcast
yeah.
it right now.
This is for my little buddy Beggs, who is apparently my biggest fan.
Biggest fan. I love Val Kilmer.
Maybe you saw me in Batman, champ. Anyway, your friend Val Kilmer.
Hey, Bags, another little aside. I don't mean to influence things too much, but if you pick me for next week's movie, you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what goes on. There might be some Val Kilmer love going on.
Oh boy.
Speaking of that, Martin, how are we doing on time right now?
We haven't gotten the 10-minute warning yet.
Yeah, we're good. Roll
All
with
right.
it.
Let's keep rolling then, bros.
Oh, I love that shirt. Sorry, movie's terrible, but album's great.
This album.
That movie
album
is
wonderful.
dog
The whole
shit.
thing's terrible.
Yeah.
Purple Rain
This-
and Prince are terrible.
This is so good.
No.
This is so good.
That movie
Album,
ruined
movie,
a college party.
Great.
That movie, college party. We had a college party going.
If I'm not
all
allowed
of us
to
were
talk,
attending. I think you were there, Dane, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't really remember if I was.
Dane
I
was
probably
half drunk.
So.
He was
Yeah.
the reason that we
Half
had
drunk.
Purple Rain going.
yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
can't
right.
imagine that it was running without
Typical.
Dane behind it.
Yeah, right.
Typical.
We had a full-fledged party going at Beggs and Martin's college house. Purple Rain went on. Everyone freaked the fuck out and left.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We're pretty good
I
at
don't remember
ruining
that
parties with
whatsoever.
movies, but we're starting them.
It's me, right?
Yeah, here comes the
This is-
party.
That's another story. I don't want to tell that. So.
Oh boy.
That's the story. Just leave it at that.
That's a good one. That's if we make it to 1 million subscribers, then we'll tell that story on the air.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There we go.
Bait 'em.
Oh
There we
yeah, and something important that we should probably start saying: if you happen to catch this obscure little podcast and you like it, tell other people about it. We'd like to do
Hell
something
yeah.
with it.
Let
Well,
people know.
Mo, we can also tell them where you can find us at. We got
Yeah.
10 minutes to go, but this is a little premature, but you guys can find us at Twitter at After the Movie PC, or just watch us on YouTube, be a bunch of blathering. I can't say that word. How do you say blathering? Blathering. But you can find us on YouTube being blathering idiots.
That wasn't a
Same.
Zoom screw up. That was
There we
just,
go. No, that was good. That was me using my phonics. So that's how I roll. I'm teaching my daughter how to do phonics right now. So,
Ooh.
but also you can just go to our Buzzsprout website. It's Buzzsprout. Jesus,
You have derailed.
I'm terrible. I can't even pitch where we're at. But we're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher,
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Deezer. Nope, not yet. We're not on Apple Podcasts because apparently we're the most yuppie podcast crew because we refuse to do Facebook, Instagram, or Apple Podcasts. But we're trying to be on Apple Podcasts.
We're gonna get
Refuse-
there. We'll get
We're
there.
refusing, but we're trying.
The effort's there. The two guys that have not picked yet are the brothers there, the cuties, Quinn and the cutie that you can't see again because his camera doesn't do things. Is
Because I'm
Mo.
too handsome and I broke my camera. Hey-o.
So Quinn mentioned to me earlier this week that he was thinking about something that is on Hulu, but
Sent it to you
I
like I
don't
sent
know.
things to Zoom back in the day.
Mo said that I could be pleasantly surprised with. Probably
Marvel,
another-
watch out.
I don't know. Too much
Lies.
coffee, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're flying.
Yeah.
Supply.
I don't know how to pick. You guys need to fight about who I need to pick here.
Flip a coin like I did last week.
Well, my movie won an Oscar.
Thanks. It'll keep your theme going if you go with me. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
we can
Yeah,
hear you.
we did.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh God!
Oh no! Can you guys hear me? I'm going away. No!
Remember Val Kilmer?
See you next Tuesday.
Well, I'm happy to hear you guys could hear me.
Loud and clear.
Because as you guys may have picked up on, I was a little concerned that you couldn't.
So you were gonna
Oh,
stick
but Beggs,
to
it
the
goes
theme.
with your original theme idea too, because it's an actor from the movie that we watched this episode.
Is it one of the good actors from this movie, or
Yes,
one of the?
it's an actor you'll like very much, Beggs. I don't know why you're not picking up on the stars here. It's a Val Kilmer movie.
Oh shit.
I don't know. What do you think, Martin?
Mine's got monsters in it, and it won an Oscar.
Little monsters?
No, pretty big monster.
Oh.
The Shape of Water?
That is a yikes. It's a very interesting movie to say the least.
I still haven't watched it. I've been meaning to, actually.
I haven't watched it yet either.
God damn
How
it,
can I
Beggs.
pick?
Paul,
Quinn,
pick this shit
Quinn,
already. We're burning time.
Quinn, I already know what you're gonna pick, but Mo, if you're gonna pick Val Kilmer, then I'm gonna have to go with Mo. To pick the movie.
I
Awesome.
already know what you're gonna pick, but if
So
you
is that
pick
official,
this,
Beggs?
Yep, go ahead, Mo. Take it away.
All right, we're gonna do Kiss Kiss Bang Bang
I knew it. I knew it. Yeah.
with Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer.
I have not seen this movie.
And I forgot the
I
lady's
have-
name, Michelle
Monahan?
Monahan. Yep, that's it.
Is
You
that
got
on
it,
a
Beggs.
streaming
That's James.
service?
I don't know. We'll figure
Guys,
it
I
out.
want to
We'll
freak
figure it
out
out
again,
after
but my
the fact.
screen's frozen and I can't hear you.
Oh,
Oh, what a world! What a world!
oh.
Just like the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That'd be a great movie to choose as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, boys.
Okay.
Mo, you probably can talk the best, obviously, because I've been a complete idiot trying to do my revolving host here. But I haven't heard from Martin very much. Martin, can you tell people if they have a movie recommendation where they can send it to?
Yeah, if you have a movie recommendation, you can send it to our Twitter. I don't know. How do we do
Yes,
this
you
stuff?
can. You
Okay,
can also
Twitter.
comment in the YouTube video down below.
There you go. You can go to Buzzsprout and find it on there. And then whatever service, you can leave a comment with that provider, right?
I'm sure that you can. But
you should
above
try
all,
it.
please subscribe and
Yes.
follow us.
Yeah, always click
Absolutely.
like and subscribe.
Because we do this for free, all right? You know, obviously you can tell that we don't have a sponsor, but you should probably be the first one. If you want.
But if you happen to be a music studio,
Have you been looking for a team of men that stutter and mumble? We are that team.
We
Top of the
Can't
line
make
at
su-
Gmail. Last after the movie podcast at gmail.com.
I thought we lost Alex. I was surprised when he came
He just
back.
came back out of
Yeah, things are going good on my side, guys.
So yeah,
All right.
follow us, care, love us, and then maybe
We're desperate for your attention.
maybe Hooked on Phonics will be our first sponsor.
There we go.
Or Val Kilmer if he's listening.
Oh, Val Kilmer could be our first sponsor.
Oh God, no. Yeah, I have to get the address and I'll buy the book.
Well, I had a couple more notes I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, tell
bring
him.
it
Bring it
up.
up.
I really want to be able to say Los Angeles and not have it be contrived.
Not sound like an asshole when you
I
say
just
it.
sound like an
Yeah.
asshole if I say
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry,
How
buddy.
good does Sam Elliott sound saying it? And Robert Mitchum.
It's great.
I'm
It's
just so
fantastic.
envious. So
You just,
envious.
well, Martin, as soon as you turn the age of 70, then you'll get the card to be able to say carte blanche.
Oh, Dane, I'm gonna have to beg to differ with you on that. Martin's a hillbilly, so I think that he is as average person 70.
I mean, nah.
All I know is that Martin's gonna have to spend a hell of a lot more time growing a mustache before
Yeah.
it sounds good.
Oh
You gotta
yeah.
get some.
God.
And he's
just-
gonna have to vape a hell of a lot more.
Oh,
I just need
yeah.
to start smoking again. That's
Winston's,
really
bruh.
it. Yeah,
Winston's.
Winston's. Cowboy
Winston is
killer.
listening. You want to sponsor us? That Winston flavor.
Pell-Mell non-filter, the only
Oh.
king-size non-filter.
Yes. Oh, can we get some cigarette sponsors? Are they allowed to sponsor podcasts?
I
Probably
bet you
not.
they are.
but
Yeah, we're in the
Oh,
Wild
yeah.
West.
Can they? I don't know if
Speaking
they
of
can on
Tombstone.
YouTube. Can they?
I don't
Maybe not
know.
on YouTube.
No, I think they can. It's the internet. I don't know about YouTube's terms of use.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
start smoking again, guys. That was
Join
great.
Join in for next episode where we review.
We smoke a
YouTube's
whole
legal
pack of
terms.
cigarettes.
I
We
think
smoke
Liggett
a whole carton
we
each.
can get to sponsor us right now. The Liggett podcast.
The
Well,
Liggett
that'll
House.
work. That'll work out good for
Virginia
Alex.
Slims.
Oh God.
More
That was
L's.
freaking.
That'll
Oh, my
work out
God.
good for Alex because he majored in college and
Whistle for a cab when they keep the lights place of freshness had Tyson them here. If anything that I can say that this cab's rare, said nah man, forget it, home to Bel Air. Pulled up to the house about 7 or 8 and yelled to the cabbie on. Stay later, looked at my kingdom, I was finally there. Sitting on my throne at the Prince of Bel Air.